Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever looked back at your past relationships and noticed a pattern? Different person, different face, different name, but somehow the same problems kept coming back. The same arguments, the same heartbreak, the same feeling of, how did I end up here again? Most people blame it on bad luck. Some blame it on the dating pool. Others just say, all the good ones are taken. But here's the truth nobody wants to hear. If the same type of person keeps showing up in your life, the common factor isn't them, it's you. And that's not an insult. That's actually the most powerful thing you can realize, because what's inside you can be changed. Bad luck cannot. Here's what's really happening beneath the surface. Every single time you meet someone new, your brain runs a rapid background check, not on their personality, not on their values, not on whether they're kind or reliable or emotionally available. Your brain is scanning for one thing only. Does this feel familiar? And familiar doesn't mean good. Familiar means recognizable. Familiar means your nervous system has felt this before and knows how to operate inside it. This is why people who grew up in chaotic households are often attracted to unpredictable partners. This is why people who had emotionally distant parents unconsciously seek out people who are hard to reach. This is why someone who was taught that love has to be earned will always be more attracted to the person playing hard to get than to someone who is genuinely available and kind. The brain isn't looking for what's healthy. It's looking for what it already knows. And until you understand that, you'll keep choosing the same person, just with a different face. This phenomenon has a name. It's called repetition compulsion. Sigmund Freud first identified it over 100 years ago, and modern psychology has only expanded on it since. Repetition compulsion is the unconscious tendency to recreate emotional patterns from your past, even when those patterns are painful. Your mind isn't trying to hurt you. It's trying to finish an old, unresolved story. Think of it like a movie that got cut off before the ending. Your brain wants resolution, so it keeps replaying the same plot, hoping this time the ending will be different. But it never is, because the real issue was never the other person. It was the wound that made that person feel like home. This connects deeply to attachment theory, developed by psychologist John Bowlby and later expanded by Mary Ainsworth. Their research showed that in early childhood, we form what's called an internal working model, essentially a mental blueprint for how relationships work, how love feels, what intimacy looks like, what we believe we deserve. If that blueprint was built on secure, consistent love, you'll naturally gravitate towards secure, consistent partners. But if that blueprint was built on inconsistency, emotional unavailability, or conditional love, then that becomes your baseline. That becomes what love feels like to you. And here's the cruel part. When you finally meet someone who is genuinely emotionally available, someone who texts back, shows up, and actually wants to be with you, it doesn't feel exciting. It feels boring. It feels too easy. It feels like something must be wrong with them, because it doesn't match the template. Research on anxious avoidant attachment cycles shows that people with anxious attachment styles are almost magnetically drawn to avoidant partners. The anxious person chases, the avoidant pulls away. The anxious person tries harder, the avoidant feels smothered, and both walk away feeling like love is painful and exhausting, when really they were just the wrong fit, locked in the right pattern. There's also something called limerence, an almost addictive state of obsessive romantic attraction. Psychologist Dorothy Tenoff, who coined the term, found that limerence is actually triggered more strongly by uncertainty than by genuine connection. The hot and cold partner, the mixed signals, the I don't know where I stand feeling. That uncertainty activates your brain's dopamine system in the same way a slot machine does. You don't keep pulling the lever because you always win. You keep pulling it because you might win. The unpredictability itself becomes the addiction. This is why you can be completely obsessed with someone who treats you badly and feel almost nothing for someone who treats you wonderfully. Now here's where it gets practical. Step 1. Identify your type. Emotionally, not physically. Sit down and write out the last 2 or 3 people you were seriously attracted to. Forget how they looked. Focus on how they made you feel. Were they inconsistent, emotionally unavailable, exciting but unreliable? That emotional profile is your template, and now you can see it clearly for the first time. Step 2. Trace that template back. Ask yourself honestly, where did this feel familiar before relationships? Which parent, which caregiver, which early experience made this emotional dynamic feel like normal? This is not about blame. This is about understanding the origin of the wound. Step 3. Learn to tolerate the discomfort of healthy love. When someone safe and consistent feels boring, that reaction is not truth. It's just your nervous system operating on old code. Sit with the discomfort. Don't run from it. Therapy, journaling, and mindfulness practices are all proven tools that help rewire how your nervous system responds to genuine connection. Step 4. Change your attraction checklist. Stop letting chemistry alone drive your decisions. Start asking new questions. Does this person show up consistently? Do I feel emotionally safe around them? Do they treat me well on ordinary days, not just when they're trying to impress me? Healthy attraction is quieter than toxic attraction. It feels like peace, not electricity. Before you move on with your day, do this one thing. Think about the last person you were deeply attracted to, or the last relationship that hurt you the most. Now ask yourself one honest question. What emotional wound in me did that person speak to? Write it down. Don't judge it. Just see it. Because that moment of awareness, that single honest sentence, is the first real step toward breaking the cycle. You are not cursed. You are not broken. You don't have bad luck. You have an old blueprint, and blueprints can be redrawn. Every time you choose someone who is consistent over someone who is exciting, you are rewriting that old code, line by line. It will feel unnatural. It will feel too calm. It might even feel like something is missing. But stay with it, because what feels like missing something is actually just the absence of pain. And that is not emptiness. That is healing. The wrong person will always feel like home until you heal the wound that built that home in the first place.